Hi, my beautiful humans. Today we're going to be talking about the cure to depression. Now, this is not going to cure depression throughout your whole life. This is just going to help you with the depressive cycle that you're in right now, okay? Because most of the time when we get into a depressive state, we tend to start unhealthy habits, we tend to bed rot, we tend to just eat our feelings away, surround ourselves maybe around not the best influences, and we tend to push people away who are trying to help us, okay? Now, those are all unhealthy things that we should not be doing when we're depressed, okay? Because that only pushes us further away from recovery, and that makes us fall more down into the deep, dark hole of depression, which is a place where we do not want to be. Now, in today's video, I'm going to teach you guys all the tea on how to get better and how to start getting on that road to recovery, okay? Now, recovery seems impossible in the beginning, or when you're really depressed, it feels really impossible and it feels very, very hard to start accomplishing, but it's actually easier to start than you think. It's just simply you don't want to do it. And you may want to recover, but listen, in the moment, it's easier for you to bed rot. It's easier for you to eat your feelings away. It's easier for you to do all those things. It's easier for you to let your grades drop, okay? All that stuff is easier to do. You have to want to recover. You have to want to get better. You have to want to feel better about yourself, okay? And I know that is very, very hard to see when you are depressed because you're just like, it's so much easier to just let my grades drop. It's so much easier to, not listen to people. It's so much easier to do all that when you're depressed, but is it the right thing to do? No. Okay? Now, when you are recovering, you are still going to feel depressed while you're recovering, okay? But there's things that you're going to be doing to help get you further away from that depression. And it's just going to be baby steps. It's going to be baby steps. And, you could be doing one of the tips that I tell you and you could just feel massively sad. But it's the fact that you're out there doing something. It's the fact that you are doing something to get better. It's the fact that you care about yourself enough to want to get better. Okay? Now, sometimes when we feel massively depressed, part of it is we feel like we have nobody to talk to. But really, when we're depressed, we tend to push people away who actually care about us and actually value us as human beings, okay? Now, part of your healing journey is you need to talk to people, okay? You need to talk to some friends. You need to talk to some family. Talk to people who care. And that may even be people online, okay? It can be really whoever. And sometimes when you're depressed, you will feel like nobody cares, but it's really you have pushed people away. And now they're just like, you don't want me as a friend. So listen, there are people who care about you, and sometimes it's finding those people. And maybe you surrounded yourself around negative people who actually don't care about you. And so maybe it's finding people who do care about you and who do want you to get better. Because when you surround yourself around negative people, they are going to want you to be negative with them. They're not going to want to see you change. They're not going to want to help you not be negative anymore, okay? They are not going to want to see that. Surround yourself around good people. Surround yourself with people with good intentions, okay? People who want you to get better, people who want you to succeed. Surround yourself with those people because that'll help you a lot, okay? Now, after you've surrounded yourself around good people, I want you to have an honest chit chat with them if you feel like you can trust them, okay? Now, sometimes trusting somebody can be very, very hard, especially if you have been hurt before, but maybe it's something, just as simple as like, hey, I haven't been doing the best lately. Can we hang out sometime? Like, whatever. Stuff like that. It just can be very brief. It can be really simple. And it could be just something to kind of get you away, get you out of the house, get you doing something to somebody, something that can make you laugh, something that can make you smile. Surrounding yourself around good people is so important, okay? Because listen, do you actually see yourself recovering if you're surrounding yourself around negative people who do bad things? I don't think so, okay? And sometimes it's creating a new bubble of people, okay? Because you are the people who you surround yourself with, okay? If you surround yourself with people who talk lots of crap about other people, you're more likely to talk crap about other people, okay? So surround yourself with good people, okay? Next thing that I want you to do is, drum roll please, learn coping mechanisms, okay? Now, coping mechanisms could be drawing, could be cooking, could be baking, could be going on walks, runs. It could be learning a new sport. It could be all sorts of things, and these are all kind of your hobbies, okay? These are things that can get you not away from your problems, but things that can help you in a sense when you're very stressed out or when you feel just overwhelmed with anxiety. These are things that can get you away from that and things that can make you feel positive when things are bad, okay? These are things that, bring happiness and bring joy to your life, okay? These are not negative things. These are not things that are having bad impacts on you, bad impacts on your mental health, making things worse. These are things that you can focus on, okay? Instead of, watching TV all day, binge watching whatever you guys want to binge watch. These are things that you can do instead of eating your issues away, doing negative things, hanging around bad people. You can do these things to help you get better. This is going to be helpful to your road of recovery, finding lots of good things that you can do, okay? These are things that are not necessarily meant to distract you from what you're going through, but these are things to help you get through it. Okay, I think with a combination of talking about the things that you're going through, expressing how it's making you feel, and also doing things that you love and doing things that you're passionate about can all help you get out of depression, okay? Because depression is a very, very scary place, and you're in your most vulnerable of times, and that's when you need people the most, and that's when you need to do things that you love and just things that make you really happy, okay? And this is also the time when you need to be trying to reconstruct things that you kind of destructed when you were depressed, okay? Maybe this is, you've been not eating enough. Maybe this is you haven't hanged out with people who really care about you in a long time, okay? Maybe you need to reconstruct. Maybe you need to, tell them what you were going through, how it impacted you, and that you were very sorry for leaving them. You just felt very alone and you started pushing people away, okay? Which is not good. Let's not push people away when we're depressed, okay? Now, I really wish I could just put a pause to depression itself and just, make everything stop for everybody. Just, if I had one wish, okay, out of my 3 wishes from a genie, I would cure all depression, okay? I really wish I could do that. But unfortunately, I can't. And sometimes I wish there was a genie because life would be a lot easier, okay? But I just want to tell you, you are not alone. And there are people feeling this with you, and there's resources online. You always have me. If you need anything in the comments, you can just tell me kind of what you're going through. I can give you a little gist on how to figure things out, because depression is really hard and sometimes you have to face things head on, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel scary, but after you do it, it's going to feel good, okay? Now, unfortunately, this is not going to be the only time that we are going to be depressed, okay? We are going to experience depression probably multiple times throughout our lives, okay? Because sadness, feeling alone, all that stuff is normal and it happens to the best of us. And it's all in how we deal with things, how we move forward, how we persevere through life's challenges, because conflicts happen every single day and it's all in how we handle them. Okay? And depression is one of those things that we just have to handle. Okay? And listen, there's going to be times where you feel like giving up. You're going to feel like, oh my God, life's so hard, whatever. Listen, you are going to get through. You have an amazing life ahead of you, and you can accomplish anything you want, okay? Listen, you are going to feel so alone. You are going to feel so sad, whatever. You're going to feel like life's over. What about all the things that you have looking forward to? What about all those vacations, all those places that you wanted to travel? What about, buying your own house? What about, doing all these things that you really wanted to accomplish? Does that all just get thrown away because you feel sad? Is that conflict that you're going through so important to throw your whole life away? Okay? Now, I know it feels very, very deep, but you gotta persevere. You gotta get through it, okay? Because listen, there's a greater picture, okay? There's such a greater picture. And there's great things for you coming, okay? You just have to want it, and you have to persevere through life's challenges. Listen, okay? If you get a bad grade on a test, okay? You can be down for a little bit, but don't let that, get to you and then to the point where you give up on your school grades and you start failing class, okay? Don't let that get to you that much. Think about what you can do to be better next time. Think logically, okay? Sometimes when we're really sad, we tend to not think logically, and that can be very, very hard. And it's something that you almost have to get used to, okay? Because over time, when you are sad, you are going to be like, oh my God, life's over, whatever. Think brighter, okay? Think more logically, okay? Is life actually over because of this event? No. Can you get better? Yes. Okay? Now, this is where talking to people comes into play, okay? Because there is plenty of different resources if you don't feel comfortable talking to maybe your parents, maybe your friends, stuff like that. If you don't feel like you have that, you always have me, like I said earlier. And listen, there's also many resources that you have online. There is many numbers that you can text. There's many websites that you can visit to talk to people. There's counselors online. There's therapists. All sorts of resources that you have available to you, okay? For people to talk to, okay? And remember, I'm always here, okay? Never forget that. Always here for you, okay? And then another thing is our coping mechanisms, okay? And I know I covered this earlier and you're probably like, Ava, stop talking, okay? But we just want to make sure that with using our coping mechanisms, we're not being avoidant of the issue that we're going through. Because listen, you could be, baking a cake, all happy, but then all of a sudden you get stuck in the realization that you're still going through the thing that you're going through, okay? And it sucks, okay? So you want to, piece apart time of your day to maybe think about what you're going through. Maybe you can journal, do all sorts of things like that. Talk to somebody. You want to make sure you're staying active with the thing that you became depressed about, okay? You want to make sure that is being addressed so it doesn't potentially get worse, okay? Now, I still want you to do your coping mechanisms. That's amazing. You have to do those, okay? Because coping mechanisms can give you a greater outlook. They can show you a brighter picture of what's ahead. They can also improve your well-being and help reduce the signs of depression, which I think is totally awesome. And so I think you should definitely keep to doing those, okay? Those are going to help you. They are going to be your girl to the end, okay? And listen, you got this. I'm so proud of you, okay? And depression sucks. And life's obstacles really suck. But some things we all have to go through and we all have to get through. Another thing that I want to let you guys know is that you guys are never truly alone, okay? You are never truly alone with your issues, okay? There is basically always somebody who has gone through something similar to you. And one thing that has helped me a lot is sometimes finding someone who has gone through similar things that you have, because then you guys can relate on another level. And I think that's really, really important. Personally, that's my best friend. We've gone through some similar things in our life, and I think that makes us relate on another level, and that makes us have a way stronger bond because we know how to comfort each other. We know how certain things make each other feel. And I think that's really, really important to have in a friend. So I think we all should try to find somebody kind of like that, where we feel we have this bond with them, you know, that's basically on another level because you guys can relate to something that, you know, not a lot of people can relate on. And I think that's really, really important. Finding somebody who has gone through similar things as you, because you guys can literally conquer the world together, okay? And they can be your person that you can talk to about certain things that you're going through. I know you guys may have a certain similar conflict in mind that you guys may have gone through, but they can sort of help you with other things as well. Different conflicts, stuff like that. They can be a very comforting person. And I think that's very important to have in our lives. I believe that making lifestyle changes can also help with your depression symptoms. Okay, whether that's, you know, practicing your coping skills, learning a new hobby, you know, maybe getting better grades. It could be changing around your room, getting a new style, trying out new makeup. It could be all sorts of things, just making changes in your life that are for the better, that make you feel good. It can kind of take you away from that negative space, whatever, just putting you in a new, happier environment. Another thing that I want to make sure you guys are avoiding, especially if you are in the middle of your depression, stuff like that, or if you get depressed in the future. Things that are good to avoid are alcohol and drugs and just anything that is addictive, because that's never a good road to go down, and it can worsen your depression and make it way harder to recover. And honestly, it makes recovery almost look like a joke because it is way harder to do. Okay, and that's when you need treatment, all that stuff, and it's never good going down that route. Okay, now what I'm telling you right now is honestly something that should help you. Okay, this should be a resource that you can use to help you get out of your depression. Or if you know somebody who is maybe not doing the best right now, this is your sign to reach out to them, okay? And this is also some good advice that you can maybe share with them, or you could also use it for yourself if you become depressed in the future, okay? Because we've all been there and we've all done that, and it really sucks. Now, here are some more specific things that I have done personally that have helped me get out of my depression. Okay, the first thing is to create a routine for yourself. Okay, now, for somebody, me, who doesn't like routines, I don't like super duper strict routines that are like by the minute. You know, I just like, you know, in order that I like to do things, okay? I don't like timestamps, stuff like that. It stresses me out way too much. But having routines is very, very good, okay? And it can help you a whole lot. It can make you feel more structured in your life. It can give you an insight on what you're doing that day. And it can make you feel way much more laid out. And I think that definitely helps, because sometimes when you're depressed, you tend to scramble, and just having things in order that you can do really, really help. Another thing that has helped me, and I think this also helps when you're feeling insecure, is anytime you go up to a mirror, I want you to say something positive to yourself, okay? Like, you look beautiful today, or, you're great, or you're doing so much better. Stuff like that can really help you, and even if you don't necessarily believe it right away, it's you repeatedly saying that to yourself anytime you go in front of a mirror. It's literally that, okay? Because then eventually, as you start to say it, you start to believe it. And I know that sounds really weird, but just try it out for yourself and then you will get exactly what I mean. Another thing, and this is for my social anxiety girlies, something that I had to do too, because sometimes it can be really weird when you catch yourself in a mirror in public. You don't really want to be like, you're awesome in a mirror. I mean, some people are totally okay with that, but social anxiety girlies, aka sometimes me, sometimes I'm really, I get really bad social anxiety. But something that you can do is when you leave the mirror, smile at yourself in the mirror, so that way your last image of yourself in that mirror is of you smiling. And it can make you really happy, and it just leaves you with happy thoughts, happy feelings, stuff like that, instead of just you looking at yourself in the mirror and totally just overthinking and stuff like that and being like, you suck. That's not good. That's not a good feeling, okay? But smiling has a happy connotation to it, so I think that's a really good thing to do, just smiling at yourself in the mirror or saying something positive. And by the way, the smiling at yourself in a mirror is a little tip from Leah Holton, so shout out to her. She's a gorgeous girly. We love her. She's a real one. Yes. Obsessed. Sometimes going through depression can actually make you come out a better person because you realize certain things while you're depressed and you learn different things about yourself. And you learn about things that you need to do the next time you get into more of a sad mood, stuff like that. You learn about things that you need to do to take care of yourself, to nourish yourself, stuff like that. Okay, now some things that can help you just become a better version of yourself coming out of your depression is to make sure you're getting on a good sleep schedule. That can be really, really important. Okay, practicing breathing exercises, getting really good at those, because sometimes you'll have random panic attacks, okay? It happens to the best of us, all right? And just having breathing exercises can really calm you down when you are getting in a really sad state or you're having a panic attack. That's okay. That's all right, okay? Sometimes we all have to have moments where we feel sad for us to be able to fully come out of it, because avoiding issues is never good, okay? Sometimes you have to cry. Sometimes you have to feel sad to get it all out and to just be happy after that, okay? Another thing is making sure you are taking care of your body food-wise, okay? Sometimes when we're depressed, we tend to fill, our bodies with sometimes not the best food, and we're not normally giving ourselves the best nutrients. So I think focusing more on that, maybe, practicing cooking, practicing baking, making yourself good food, treating yourself, okay? Treating yourself to some good food, all right? I think that's so important, okay? Another thing is exercise, and I'm not being like, oh, go to the gym, like, whatever, no. Like, literally, it could be as little as, like, taking your dogs on a walk. It could be whatever, okay? Just getting up and moving is good, okay? Like, literally do 10 jumping jacks. I don't care. You're staying active. You're doing something to better yourself, okay? That's so important. Literally building yourself up after going through something so low is so good, okay? And it's so beneficial for you. And honestly, doing that makes you such a stronger person. And it makes you honestly more immune to going through things like depression. And it doesn't fully give you immunity to going through depression, because you're going to be thinking about something different every single time. But it makes it easier to honestly get out, because you know what you need to do to build yourself back up. You know what you need to do to make yourself feel good, to prioritize yourself. You know what you need, and you have the resources. And I think that's so important, okay? Just taking care of yourself, okay? Building yourself up, okay? Maybe it's getting a new job. If you had a really toxic career, get a new job. Fill yourself with happiness in a new environment, okay? Change it up, switch it up. Sometimes all you need is some change. And sometimes that can lead to some of the happiest moments of your life. And sometimes that's exactly what you need to move on in life, is just some change, okay? And change is okay, and we have to express change more, because change can sometimes be really hard for some people, but it leads to some of the happiest moments of our lives. And I think coming out of your depression, doing good things, maybe it's doing good things for the community, maybe it's, becoming happier, maybe it's buying, your dream car. It could be all sorts of things. Just doing something better, doing something good for you, something that's going to benefit you, whatever, benefit the people around you. Maybe it's building new relationships with people, trying new food, all sorts of things, making yourself feel good about yourself. Maybe it's finding new passions, okay? Something that's going to uplift you, something that's going to make you feel like you have superpowers, okay? You want to feel good after coming out of something like that, okay? Something so traumatic, something so hard, something so difficult. You're going to want to feel good, and you're going to feel happy about yourself and the person you're becoming, okay? Because at the end of the day, you did that, you went through that, you got through that, and you came out better, okay? And that's so strong. And it's so incredibly hard to do, but you did it. You got through. And you came out on top. You came out better, okay? You came out better than you were before. Came out happier, more successful, everything, okay? So sometimes, as difficult as depression may be, you have to look on the bright side, because sometimes going through something so hard could lead to something so empowering, and it could lead to such a good realization, and it could make you come out stronger and have a better insight on life and who you want to hang around, stuff like that. And listen, some more motivation for recovery is, imagine all your haters seeing you come out on top. Imagine all your haters seeing you come out better than them, okay? You being depressed and sad and all this stuff is all normal feelings, okay? We all feel sad, we all feel upset, but imagine, them seeing you get out of something like that and be better and be happier and be more free and be more expressive, all sorts of things, because they don't want to see you win, but by recovery, you are winning, okay? I love you guys so much, and thank you guys. Have a great day, and I hope you guys have an amazing recovery, or if you guys are just watching this for, future reference or to help out a friend, that is totally okay too. But I really hope I taught you guys some valuable advice and things that you could use in the future. Love ya.